Hey guys, what's up? First things first, before we get into this video, if you do notice there's a lot of stuff around me that is not mine, but we are going to be cleaning this Game Boy Advance. So as you can see, it's pretty dirty, and previously whoever owned this didn't have the back of this, so it was opened and someone had tape all over it. So that's going to be one thing to clean up, as well as these buttons are pretty nasty and it's pretty scuffed up. But nonetheless, we will be cleaning up this Game Boy Advance. So mainly what you're going to want to do for this Game Boy cleanup is you're going to need a Phillips head screwdriver, tri-wing screwdriver, you're going to need some alcohol, Q-tips, Mr. Clean Magic Eraser, and a cartridge cleaner for the cartridge slot. As you can imagine, with this being disgusting and dirty, I would assume this would be dirty. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to take your tri-wing screwdriver. You cannot get this in any store, you have to buy this online. And you're going to take off the first 6 screws, which are 2 up top near the cartridge slot, 2 in the middle near the serial sticker, 2 at the bottom, and there's 1 in the cartridge slot, and it's for a Phillips head screwdriver. So you're going to need the Phillips head screwdriver for the inside here. And you can't really tell now. There is usually model numbers or numbers in here that'll tell you what pin the Game Boy Advance system is. I believe if it starts with a 0, it's a 32 pin, and if it starts with if it starts with a 1, it's a 32 pin. If it starts with a 0, it starts with a 40 pin. Once you've got all the screws out, you can then just lift off the back of your plastic of the system there, and then you will show the inside. Now what you can do from here is take off the grips, which are just covered in nastiness and finger jam. And the L and R buttons. Ew. And then what you're going to want to do from here is you're also going to want to remove the 2 Phillips head screws on the back of this system so that you can take off the motherboard, as well as you're going to want to take off the tabs, or pull up on the tabs, should I say, on the ribbon cable, if I can get this last one. And you're going to want to either A, pull the ribbon cable out with the screw still in, or you can take the screws out and then pull the ribbon cable out. Alright, now before I take out the ribbon cable, I'll also point out that you want to pull out your power switch and put it with your stuff you want to clean so that it's over there and that you don't lose it. So what I meant by beforehand was you just want to gently pull out the ribbon cable. And there it is. So now you can pull up on your system here, if it'll let me. There we go. And the contact pads are sticking with the A/B buttons, but here's part of the buttons, and it's dirty. So here's what the front of the system looks like, and here's the speaker, and then the L and R buttons are up here. They're in pretty good standing. The contacts look all good here, so it hasn't really affected the motherboard. So now, ew. Ew! What the fuck, man? Okay. Let's see here. Normally when you pull out the D-pad, it sticks to the contact pad, so just know that beforehand. Here's the, it's on my fingers. I don't know if this is soda or what the hell this is, but it's nasty. There you go. There's some finger jam for you. And then the A and B buttons, which I just dropped. Hold on. What sucks about this system is you can't just pull them out like you used to on the Game Boy, Game Boy Color, etc. because they're really sunken in, so you literally have to tip the front half over to get the buttons. But here's what they look like in all of their glory. And then here's the A and B buttons and the speaker. Here's the screen, which I will go over in a second how to remove that so that you can clean the front half of this, but just there's the screen. It's a little scratched up. And yeah, this system does need some cleaning. So next what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to remove the LCD screen. So pretty much what you're going to want to do is like the ice cube tray method, like you would remove ice cubes. So you just want to do this, and you'll hear this weird noise. You then just want to try and grab at it with your finger and then just gently pull off. Still on there. There. This is the sticky bottom here. It's a little messed up, but regardless, it's off. And then here's the LCD screen. Try not to touch the front part of it because you would then need to clean it. But it looks like from all the dirt and stuff that's on there, that in the system, that it's gotten to the screen itself. So I will have to clean this with a screen cleaner. But now what you can do is you can go and put this in hot soapy water, minus the motherboard, and clean all your plastic bits. Alright, next what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to deep clean your plastic parts, not your motherboard parts, because those should not get wet. Now what I'd suggest to do is put them in very, very hot soapy water. Like, you do not want to touch this water and a lot of soap. And you're going to want to keep your plastic bits in there for about 10-15 minutes so that the screen doesn't come off or any of the stickers on the back of the system. But for these parts, it doesn't really matter. What you're also going to want to do is use a toothbrush specifically for your game systems, and make sure it's not a used toothbrush. That's just disgusting. It's a new toothbrush, and you just use it for your dirty game systems and just scrub your system, because as you can see, this is really disgusting and really dirty. So then what you're going to want to do is just plop them right into the water. They should just automatically sink. This has a little bit more parts than a Game Boy or a Game Boy Color, plastic parts wise, because there's the grips and the L and R buttons were a new thing, so just a little bit extra to stick in there. So then what you're going to want to do, like I said, is add a timer, 10-15 minutes, and you should be good to go. If you want to know what soap I use, Dawn dish soap. It doesn't have to be scented or anything, just regular Dawn dish soap, and it'll clean it right up. I also forgot to mention, while your stuff is sitting in the hot soapy water, you can also go over the cleaning like the speaker or the contacts if you need to, or if you need to, take out the silicone here and clean out the L and R buttons just so that the motherboard is a little bit more cleaner than it was. Okay, so now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to let the wet pieces dry after they are done soaking. I went over these with a toothbrush, but it seems like the toothbrush didn't get all the divots, so what I'm going to have to do is once these are all dry, I'm going to go over all these little pieces with a Q-tip because I didn't want to lose the little pieces in the sink there. The bigger pieces still have some scuffs that are showing some wear and dirt in them, but I will try to get them. But I overall did pretty good on cleaning the pieces. As you can see, I couldn't get everything, but that's the whole point of the Q-tips. But I did get most of the sticky residue, not all of it, but most of it. So I'm going to let this sit here for about 12-24 hours, and then I'll reassemble this. What you also might want to clean, if yours came with it, is the battery cover. Mine didn't come with one, and I ordered this. This is a brand new one, so it's not like an original back piece. It even says made in Taiwan on the back of it. So I obviously didn't need to clean that because it's brand new. And here's what I got off of the speaker. This is me cleaning like the physical speaker here on the motherboard. Yeah, that's disgusting. That was just off the speaker, so I can't wait to see what gets off all of these pieces. Like, up in here, there's still some dirt in there that I couldn't get to. So, I will be back in a few hours to reassemble this as well as spot clean these with Q-tips. So what you're going to want to do once everything is all dry is you're going to want to put all your buttons back into place. So the B button goes down here, A button goes up here, and then start and select contacts go here. And this has a specific spot, you can't really mess it up. That goes there. And then what you're going to have to do with the D-pad is you're going to have to connect it correctly into the back because it attaches and everything. And then can't mess up putting that in. There we go. Alright, then we're ready for the LCD screen right there. I'll place it in a second. And then what you're going to want to do there is put on the motherboard. Alright, so what you're going to want to do from here is you're going to want to put in your 2 Phillips head screws back into where they were, as well as you're going to want to put your ribbon cable back in. So I'm going to see if I can put it in like so. And then you're going to want to pull the tabs down like that, and it clicks in. Should fit in nicely there. Once that's all done, I wanted to point something out before I forgot. This is the number that you usually see in the battery port whenever you take the batteries out, and it shows you which pins they are. The 037-1, which is this model, the 0 means that this ribbon cable right here is a 40 pin. If it's a 1 starting in the digital numbers, then that means it's a 32 pin. So besides that, once you're all done with that, then you're going to want to put your grips and your L and R buttons back in. So let me see here. This is R. There we go, clicking nicely. And then the L button goes in here. And then the grips go in like so. You can't really mess them up. There we go. And then you'll just want to put on the back of your system. There we go, fits nicely. And then you're going to want to put the screws back into their places. Okay, so what I'd suggest doing to finalize this is I'd suggest going over all your scuffs that you can and everything with the Mr. Clean Magic Eraser. Sorry about the noise outside. As well as, what you may also want to do is clean out the cartridge slot. Once you're all done with all that, you have now completed cleaning your Game Boy Advance. It's not perfect, but it's the best that I could get it. And it should work. So I hope you enjoyed the cleaning of the Game Boy Advance.